Today's episode is brought to you by Mazars. SoundCartel. Are you still spruiking your product or service on social media, hoping for likes, follows and shares? Well, you may be wasting your time and money. So says one social media expert with an important message for businesses using social for lead generation. From SoundCartel, I'm Nicole Goodman, and this is Business Essentials Daily. George Hauer is the Growth Director of social media agency Attention Experts. He says with massive changes in the last few years across the social media landscape, businesses should be aiming for brand value rather than brand awareness. This could mean a complete rethink of what you post and how you post it. George begins by explaining to Jeff Waters the difference between brand awareness and brand value.
A lot of people say to me, George, I want to build brand awareness. And I'm like, okay, I can build brand awareness, but if everyone thinks your brand is mud, then it's not worth much, right? So what brand value actually is perceived value of a brand with a target market. So how they're actually perceiving that brand.
And how do you go about building that on social media?
There's two ways we can build brand value. One is what a lot of businesses do, which is the customer to business journey. So they tell the journey of the customer to the business, the way they would purchase a product, where to find it, what that experience would look like, what would it look like when they've got the product, and then post-product. And there's a second journey that a lot of businesses don't talk about, which is their business to customer journey. So behind the scenes, purpose, why they're doing what they're doing, and what it takes to deliver that product to the consumer behind the scenes.
Could you please elaborate on that number one for us?
A great example is like a hotel. So someone might find a hotel online, let's say on Google or whatever, when they're looking for a holiday that they'd like to plan. And that's the start of that customer to business journey. And they'd land on the hotel website, they'd take a look around, they'd probably look at some reviews, make a booking eventually, end up going to the hotel on the day of the booking, getting greeted by the front doorman, going to the front lobby, being shown to their room, using the amenities and doing the things in the area. So that's the customer, the business journey. That's the journey the customer will go on with the business. And we talk about that in detail on social media. So a lot of people today want to see predictability and genuineness in the story that they're being communicated to about from a business. So we tell that in detail, that whole journey.
So given that example of the hotel, what would those posts look like?
It could be a video of, let's say, the front doorman greeting you into the hotel. It could be the smile at the front desk and the way you checked in. It could be a video, like a sweeping video into the room as you're walking in and what the room looks like. It could be some single image posts or carousels around the food and beverage options, menu items, and some of the amenities around the hotel, like pool, gym, and so on.
And you mentioned a second journey. Can you please tell us about that?
Yeah, the second journey is the business to customer journey. So that business to customer journey is really about what the business goes through to deliver that product to the customer. So the customer only really sees probably 10% or less of that journey when they receive the product. What happens that 90 to 95% of the time to actually deliver that product? So if we're going to stick with the hotel example, you know, the people that come in and clean the room, the planning behind the scenes, the management, the staffing, the way staff are recruited, the purpose of the hotel, why the menu items are the way they are, the seasonal options, and what the chef has thought about in regards to that. You know, the passion and purpose of the back-end staff and the things that happen behind the scenes really is that business to customer journey.
So you're saying that the customer is actually interested in what's going on behind the scenes?
Absolutely. They want to do business with a business that they know, like, and trust. So if they're going to be booking at that hotel or they're going to be buying that product from an e-commerce website, they're doing this all digitally. So from a digital format, they don't have the option to go in and deal with these people in person. So they really want to trust who they're buying it from. And, you know, audiences today are more cynical than they've ever been because there's so many options. A lot of those options have burnt them in the past. So they really want to see that personable aspect of a business.
Mazars is an international audit, tax and advisory firm committed to helping clients confidently build and grow their businesses. Experience a new perspective with Mazars. Visit mazars.com.au. That's mazars.com.au.
So what you're doing is creating a user experience for the purchaser or the customer without them actually being there.
Correct, yeah. Giving them the flavour of the personality plus also what they're going to expect.
So how does this all build what you call brand value?
What we've found, and if you see this in the biggest companies in the world, they have this down pat, this is how they've built brand value for themselves, is when you tell those two stories over and over and over again, you build brand value with an audience. So if you take Apple, for example, their business to customer journey is their history. So two guys in Southern California wanted to start the world's biggest personal computer company. They went ahead and did that. The owner got fired. He came back, started the world's biggest smartphone and personal music device. He ended up passing away. Then one of his people that worked closer with him took over, and now the world's biggest company, right? That's their business to customer journey. They flagrantly market that. That's part of their strategy. The customer to business journey for them is one to do with the product. So the product design, the way it looks and feels when you first purchase it. They've even got their own unique patented smell called Apple Smell. You can actually buy that in a candle if you're that into Apple products.
Does it smell like an apple?
It smells like an iPhone. Whatever an iPhone smells
Whatever
like.
that is. Yeah. Sorry, please continue.
and you know, the Genius Bar as well. So like go into a store, get your products. So this is all part of the customer to business journey. Another unique example is like Airbnb. So Airbnb don't talk about the history in their business to customer journey. They talk about the vendor experience when they're leasing out to a guest. That's their business to customer journey. So why would I lease out my apartment or house to someone that I don't know and never met before? Well, all these other people have done it, and this is their experience, and this is the success they had. So really building that brand value, that perceived value of a brand with a target market is really telling those two stories over and over again.
Can you give any advice to the small business owner about what sort of content, in what form, video, words, what sort of works the best with this?
It's not necessarily format. A lot of people get fixated on, okay, should I be doing more video? You got to remember social media is not one billboard that you can put up on the side of the road. You do it once and it has to be perfect. It's a series of things that tells a story. So the best way to do it if you're a small business is really get your messaging right in terms of articulating your purpose, why you're doing what you're doing, and the reasons why you're doing what you're doing, and what are people going to expect from you. So you need to have that down clearly first, and then you'll be able to articulate that in your posts through single image or carousel or video. But as long as you're aligned with that messaging, that's great. Because where I see a lot of small businesses go wrong is they don't have that message right, they don't understand it, or they haven't been able to align with it yet. And then their messaging comes out on social media very scattered, and they tell everyone they do this, they do that, they do this, they do that, and it's not aligned in any way. It's not really cohesive as a message that is creating consistency in communication. So a small business really needs to focus on talking about things like thought leadership. For example, our agency, and Jeff, I'm sure you do the same, how we built our agency was all through workshops and thought leadership, online posts around educating people, delivering webinars and so on. So we can become that terminal that people go to and ask questions about social media. You want to become that thing in your industry where people trust you enough that they come and ask that question before they go anywhere else. And that's how you get referability, and that's how you grow your business.
Can you share with us any other pitfalls where people go wrong?
Major pitfall people have, and I see this probably with 98% of businesses, is they focus their KPI on likes, comments, followers, and shares. And that is not a good metric to track. That's something that shouldn't be tracked as a KPI.
Why not?
There's two reasons. One is the algorithm today is less likely to favor you because of more followers, more likes, more comments and shares. The other thing as well is that if you focus on that, People are today liking, commenting, and sharing 40% less than they were 2 years ago. So people consume social media today not like a novelty tool that it used to be back in the day. Like, do you remember when you used to poke people on social media? Like, if someone poked me today, I'd probably block them, right? It's not used like that anymore, right?
Yeah,
It's not the way it's used. It's used as a content consumption tool today, like TV, like radio. So there's 40% less overt engagement, even though people are on social media more today. So the likelihood of someone liking your posts or liking your page or following your page is 40% less. They already follow on average 150 pages. Why are they going to follow another one? So the metrics that people are chasing, and this is why a lot of people feel like they're running on a treadmill with social media, the metrics they're chasing are metrics that aren't really delivering value to return on investment and real engagement with their brand. Real engagement and the real metrics they should be looking at are things like covert engagement, like video views, link clicks to websites, post clicks, profile visits. That's the stuff that is actually genuine and stuff that will get you where you need to be as a business. And the algorithms favor that a lot more than the other stuff.
Yes, you were promising to tell us what the algorithms were looking for. Is that it?
That's it. So you've got to understand what the algorithm's trying to chase. And what the word algorithm actually means is a set of rules and processes that lead to an end goal. And the end goal for Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn is to keep a person on the platform longer. That's what makes their platform valuable. That's how they sell themselves to advertisers, right? If people stay on the platform shorter, then they can't sell their product more valuably to an advertiser, or they lose advertisers. So the algorithms are always trying to work out how to keep people on the platform longer. And what they're looking at is, okay, are they actually sticking there and watching this video? Are they actually clicking on this post? Are they actually stopping on the newsfeed on this photo? That's what they're looking at, not if they like it or they comment on it so much.
That was George Hauer, Growth Director of Attention Experts. This episode of Business Essentials Daily is produced by the team at SoundCartel. Thanks for listening. I'm Nicole Goodman. We'll bring you more Be Daily tomorrow. Follow at BE Daily Podcast across social media and head to bedaily.com.au for more from the Business Essentials Daily podcast. SoundCartel. This episode was brought to you by Mazars. To find out more, visit mazars.com.au. That's mazars.com.au.